gang, Space Time Badass here. So today I thought it would be fun to talk about lucid dreaming long term and what that looks like once you kind of like incorporate it into your lifestyle. Because when you start out, it's like, it really is, you're basically trying to start up 2 or 3 brand new habits, and starting habits are difficult. I think, what is it, like 30 days doing it consistently constitutes a habit, and after that it's supposed to come more second nature. It might actually take a bit longer than that, but for some people, of course, there's more people who are going to come into it a little bit faster than others. With those habits, obviously there's the dream journal, and remembering to write down your dreams every single day. And then, of course, reality checks, which is another one that is, reality checks is probably the most difficult to get in the swing of doing them consistently, regularly, and doing a quality reality check where you're actually questioning reality and not just doing it flippantly. As well, the technique, which is another thing that can be difficult, but it can also be a very simple thing just as you're going to sleep. However, if you're doing wake back to bed, or if you're trying to do wild, then that's going to be probably the second most, well, probably the first most difficult if you're doing wild, but second most if it's just kind of like wake back to bed, or just any old techniques, probably the second hardest thing to consistently do. So let's say you're doing everything religiously and as you should, and then you start seeing lucid dreaming progress. So what happens when you've been lucid dreaming for, say, years? Like in my case, I've been at it, it's like 7 years. I think this is going to be my 8th year. At the end of this year, it'll be 8 years. So if you've been lucid dreaming for years, typically you know what the dream feels like for you, so you're more apt to realize when you're dreaming just on the fact that you know what dreams feel like versus reality for you. So that's something that can make it a little bit easier. In fact, so much so that over time you might find that you reality check a little bit less. You don't want to stop writing your dreams down, but you also might do techniques less. But the dream journal is one of those things that you have to keep up long term, constantly. You can't get too lazy on that, because after you stop writing your dreams down, then your dream recall just goes out the window. So if you're not remembering your dreams, you're going to be forgetting those lucid dreams that you may have, which can happen. It's happened to me before, where I've kind of got lazy on the dream journal, and then I won't remember any dreams, and I'll wake up and just kind of be thinking about dreams later in the day, and then I'll be like, oh yeah, I totally had a lucid dream last night that I almost completely forgot about. But this isn't a video to say do those things less if you've been doing it for a while, like with reality checks, dream journal, and your technique. It's just something that you'll probably naturally come into. You still want to be doing your reality checks, you still want to have that habit, but you may not have to be as steadfast with it. Same for the technique. The technique, I think, for me even, is something that I can take or leave, but I still do it anyway out of habit and out of trying to keep things on task. Because long term, yes, it's going to become easier to lucid dream for you, and it's going to be easier to have those things. It's going to be second nature, where you're doing reality checks out of habit just a few times a day, and that might be sufficient. And it's going to be also second nature to write down your dreams. But over time, you're just going to probably feel it out, and it's going to not feel like so much work, and it's going to be a part of your lifestyle, where it's just something that you do without much thought or without much effort, and that it comes a lot easier to you. But the thing to be said for that is, in order to get to that point, you have to keep it up for a very long time. And that is something that is really up to you motivation-wise. There's a lot you can do with lucid dreaming. You can practice skills. That's a common one people like to use it for. You can do it obviously for just fun, and there should always be a little fun in your lucid dreams. But when it comes down to it, there's a lot of work that you can do to improve yourself and your well-being. So you can speak with your subconscious, you can get answers, you could get inspired by talking to dream characters to be creative, or to get your life in order and get advice, that sort of thing. Meditating in a lucid dream, even if you're spiritual or not, something interesting is almost always going to happen, and it's almost always going to reveal something about yourself. Another thing is wandering into nightmares. So if you're lucid and you feel like an area might be nightmarish, you can go away. And this comes with any conflict or weird feelings you get in lucid dreams. You can just walk away, or you can go face them head on. And if you face them head on, that has really good benefits for you in your waking life, because the thing is, in lucid dreams we are kind of studying ourselves. We're learning about ourselves aside from all the fun and all that. It's really an experience in self-exploration, and when you uncover something, you may not like it, or you might just be told something in your face that really hits home for you. And these are things that are revealed to you through your exploration that are very good clues into things that you can do in your waking life to live a happier, more balanced life with yourself. You'll be able to say, oh, I recognize this about myself and I want to change this, and you'll be able to make clear steps in order to do that, and it becomes a lot easier to grow as a person with lucid dreaming. So that's why I do it. But yeah, as far as motivation-wise, again, that's up to you, but that's kind of what lucid dreaming long-term feels like. I hope you're well, and until next time, take it easy.